G'day, today we are playing some more Islanders, and we are straight off just saying goodbye to Island 12 there, and jumping into Island 13. Nice and yellow, this one. Alright, so have a look at our layouts. So I would say down here is going to be where we want our standard houses. Over here with the statue will be where we will put our mansions. I guess up this way will be where we go our fields. Really anywhere else it's going to suit. But yeah, I guess this will be our fields area, specifically like the brewery, what we're after. So, we've got some insane housing like placements for these guys when it comes this way, but we don't want to sort of take up any of the space of the actual town. So, just sort of pull them back a little bit. Shove them in that corner. Ruin pack, absolutely. Let's get dug straight into this guy. So, when building this, we want to try and keep in mind what we want eventually around him. And the main thing is going to be the oasis that we want. You can see that's letting me pretty comfortably slide him on either sides of that crack. So I think we've got to keep that back to here. Now it's not letting me. Maybe if it's a particular angle that I get him on. I'll sort of slide him down, just wedge him into that corner. Well, I suppose wedged in the corner, he's not going to be able to have as many fields around him. But these guys, you can see the fields have a pretty wide reach. That having him right on the edge is probably going to be fine. Do love those hop fields. Generally don't like jumping straight into a city pack. I also don't like the farming pack. But the problem I have here is that if I drop... I think that we want to go the city, the mansions as our first placement with a town hall. Because they've got the monument with them as well, they're probably going to be a little bit easier, just even with two houses, to bump into that next section. I'm going to go the shaman because you can see there's a lot of flowers in some of these areas. So we can get an easy 33 there. We'll go for the 30. I think I'll go for the 30 on the far side, just to mean that I can have a second shaman on this side and not sort of take up any of the, like not lose points to being able to see a second shaman. Fishes really don't have that much value at this point in the game, so it's just the farming pack's going to take up a lot more real estate. I don't think that there's that much real estate to give him. But what we can do is we can sort of just slide these guys into this far edge. Have him grab 13 there and then swing this guy. Maybe let's see if we can send him as far that way as possible. Just get 13 out of him. And hope that these guys get some decent scores. I feel like if I had the right shaped guy, we could get a good like hook around there and land a better score for one of these guys. Yeah, that's the guy I was after. That's the score I was after. Alright, cool. There's our second city center, which means that we can get the green light on starting to build our smaller town. Well, other town. So smaller, it's just that they've got different houses. Should just backed that guy up the tiniest bit, and then I could have slotted this guy right in there. All those guys are in a really ugly way. Alright, 25, 31, 28, 34. This early on, I'll take a 34 just to jump us into the next round. Yeah, start our hut investment going. Lovely to see a hop field coming in. Shame we haven't landed any, say, masons or anything to make these guys over here a little bit happier, but we do have 11 houses already. These guys have some pretty decent range, so they're going to see each other and just be happy about the fact. Very community-minded, these houses. Alright, let's go our second shaman, because we know that they're worth big points. Guess we'll just swing that way. Get that 30 with him. One, all the way in that gap. That's heartbreaking. You fit in that gap? Alright. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna pull you back ever so slightly. So this guy can fit in there. Come on, you can get in that one. What do I have to see? Make sure that this guy can slide the tiniest bit that way, and then this guy can fit in there. You're getting a lot of this shape. Plateaus we don't really want to touch yet. We're really after masons here. We're getting a lot of these houses though. It's quite possible 17's as good as we're going to see out of these guys. Go down there and take a 17 because we might be able to get another one up there if we do end up with a fourth one. Swinging the map. These guys are already down to 8. Like, they're such a dud community, these guys. And they do like their parks. So pull that guy slightly off there and see if that makes it any more worthwhile. Not really. could just have this guy sort of over there somewhere and could still get about 7 from him. Let's bury him all the way at the back here. A sight. Not like in the order that I'm getting stuff in this one. I do really need, I think, masons in here a lot sooner. I'd like, what's the other one I really need? Actually, can I get a plateau sort of over here somewhere? If we put say just one of these plateaus, we take a 12 for it. It would at least mean that we could have houses around it that are happier. I feel like that's investment worth going for. Because these guys are so miserable already. Guys aren't happy already rolling into the lumberyard. Okay, let's have a look at what this guy can do. So he can score 40. 44 down there. Okay, so if we're going down there for 44, can we get this guy to... That's that same one gap I don't think I've had any luck with. Can we have him face that way? Yeah. $19 there. Definitely take that for a park. $52. I feel like that could be worth jumping on. Just to progress us to the next level. Okay, so gold mine. We can put the gold mine sort of on the back side of that, as long as this guy can see it. That's fine. 71 you could get for him. And having him up there would mean that he would also introduce houses to be up there and be okay with it because they'd be near him, and I'm pretty sure they like the jewelry store too. They have 2 for the jewelry store, so not huge, but something. Saying that it's that guy's just grabbing 6 from the plateau is where we're really pulling the score there. So we're going to put that guy there as well. We'll place 3 of them because of their scores. What they'll do to help this guy makes it worthwhile. This could be a tough level for the market. A whole bunch of locations here where we've got enough area for the market. All of these are sort of just off, so 26 there. Even the warehouses are getting nothing at the moment. Got to be a spot where he can see all 3 of these It's hopefully not that, but these mountains definitely block that opportunity. Alright, picking up the Resort Oasis at this point, we can at least sort of gauge where we could put him, what sort of scores we can get for him. Okay, so we're getting 78, 75. Doesn't destroy trees or flowers here. 75, 77. So if we keep that in mind as we're placing arcs and things for the basically the greater good of upping this guy's ultimate score. We get a 44 out of this guy just on the opposite side of town. So keeping in mind sort of where we want that to be when we place these guys. Imagine there's nowhere in between that guy will sit that'll be happy with his situation. Yeah, I'll take the 52 for... Oh, okay, so obviously this guy loves a brewery. So, I mean, I suppose that the question would be, should I hold off placing this guy until I potentially get a second brewery that I can place up here? You are real struggle at the moment. I feel like unless I've got 2 warehouses to place for that guy, the market doesn't seem like it's going to have much value. Mansion City always turns to such a dud so quickly. Alright, come on, we can surely get you in somewhere that's gonna give us some nice benefits. It always amazes me how consistently the small houses will rack up great big scores. And we're still masonless here. Possibly we're just not going to get masons at all for this one. Will make life a little bit trickier. I realised I had plans for a brewery over there, but the chance of a second brewery is limited. Yeah, I guess these guys do like the shaman, so let's just stomp on the flowers up there and put them... We get them between 2 shaman? It's only worth 13. Let's, I feel like we were getting a better score than that, weren't we? 13 it is. Just like the gold mine. Like some mills that we haven't placed any of. Fisher, Brickyard. I mean, having him on this far side isn't great, though. Really what we want is them centralized where we can have two markets, one on either side of the map, where both of them can see them. So, say up here would be a good spot if we were getting any sort of value out of them. If this had masons on it, perfect. Alright, we might have to concede and just grab the 51 from this guy. I mean, as far as taverns go, it's possibly the highest score I've gotten for a tavern in this season, so not be too mad about it. These guys don't mind fields. I assume he doesn't like mills, but he likes the fields. So if we were to put him in here, what we could do is try and slot this guy who's enjoying the view of the stuff on the other side of him. Although, let's just do a quick math there. So he would get 3 for a field, and he would lose 5 for a lumberjack. So if there were 3 fields in view, he would still make a gain of 4. And the fields, as long as all the fields can see the mill, they'll make a gain of 5 each. So it doesn't make too much sense to stack the, like sort of put him in the far corner and then have the fields only just, like sort of not being able to see him, because there's more to gain in those moves there than this. It just basically means that this wasn't going to detract from there. And there we go anyway, we can hit all 3 without hitting him. So that resort oasis is currently our backup plan. Is undo, let's do that again for 10. Essentially, if we want to hold on to him as long as we can, and then just sort of drop him to give us an extra level. But I'm not liking the way that we're progressing at the moment. This mansion town is really a bust. Not having masons at all is hurting these guys. It's hurting, like, say, the plateau wealth that we would otherwise get. A lot of things not... we've got terrible sort of options for the warehouses because we've got no manufacturing like masons again. Not having the masons really seems like it's going to sink us. So let's get this guy again where we had him at 100. We had 100. It was my 100. We had 102. Okay, good. So we've got a potential earner in a seaweed farm. Have a look at where we're best suited to set that up. We say over here. $34. $34 it is. And the fact that he's up there hopefully gives us a little bit more hope for a mansion liking being up there, because we've now got 2 things that they'll like. more fields and absolutely nowhere to place them. So they're not going to go around that guy. So we'll just hold on to them for now. These guys aren't worth putting near this town because I mean, they're worth putting over here near the resort though. They're not worth putting down there because they take up too much space versus how much like we would gain from having a house that close to all the other houses. It's probably the main reason that we don't put fields down with these guys. So we're already nabbing 15 from that guy because we currently don't have towers down and we don't have the market down. So those are two things that we probably want to see down before we put the balloon in. Temple, Mason, Statue House, Mansion Park. So somewhere in between here, we're getting 27. Up that way, we're getting 30, 32, 33. We push too far that way, we dropping off there. Take that 33. These guys are like plateaus though. We really don't have, like we are getting to the bottom of the valuable things that we've got to place. I didn't realize these guys are like seaweed farms. Yeah. So we can get 12 for these guys' placement, which is currently nothing. 24 for this guy. So we'll drop him in because that's an investment in future hut placement as well, because you can see that's now pushed them to 18. It's given us another city center. Alright, so 13. And 13 is, it is not great when we're already sort of a bit limited in the value we're getting from those guys. Real hit and miss because he doesn't like those barley fields. 39, 52. He's seen almost every park in the area when he's up there. So 52, but we've got an available park that we can place for him. So hold on to that thought. We'll figure out a spot to get you in. Does that reach him? That was 60. There's his 60. He does like temples though. So we possibly are going to get a temple in a good position on this town. Like, because this is a very flat city here, we might be able to get a solid overhang and have that temple centralized very well. So again, if we can, we'd like to hold the monument until that happens, but it does mean that we're holding a lot of big ticket items here in hope of something else happening. Now, speaking of that, this guy, can we fit him in over here? Surely there's enough space there. Generally can't tell what he's hitting there that he's not happy with. I guess he's just, what, like slightly too big? Basically, I mean, we can get nothing for that and then get a big gain for him. That was an alright placement in there. It might be that we have to drop an overhang over here for this guy to hit the center of that. But again, it's that we are just waiting then, again, for something to happen with that guy. We have so few fields of any kind. manufacturing. Can't go down on those rocks. 4 is that way, the biggest he can get. 5 that way. Oh boy. Alright. I would love to place this guy sort of down over here. Might be able to get away with it. I was going to say that I'd put him on a dock overhang, but you can fit in there, that's fine. So 24 for these guys. I'm not happy that we're already going for these guys, but that's how much I think that everything that we've got has value that we could possibly really roll with. If we once we say get things like the come on, get in there. Yeah, let's do. We put this guy on a weird angle, like that. We then have this guy sneak in. We really want a second seaweed farm. Obviously, it feels like we're surely not going to get masons at this point. Why are you getting 6 up there? What's the other thing you're gaining from? Or is it you just 3 for placement? 3 for placement. I can get these guys close enough to in there that they can get sort of a gain for seeing that sawmill. It's essentially saying that we're using those guys just purely for their points. At this stage, which still isn't heaps. Things are feeling dire in this one. See, somewhere like over here, it just doesn't work because they have to be sort of somewhere like this, where we can have a market, like, overlooking them. But there's no point in placing... I don't feel like... That's 47, if we have a market down beforehand. Like, the warehouse down beforehand, rather. So I'm going to take the warehouse. Let's give up on waiting for him to do anything of more significant value. There are 49 in this? I thought there was, yeah. There. Okay, so we just grabbed a few things that might give us a fighting chance here. Firstly, if we get this guy and position him in a nice way. It's 34. Then, like I said, I think that we can get a possibly quite low plateau off this wall. It's kind enough to let us put it there. Come on. What about this side? It's much... Yeah? Sure. That's real low. That means that this guy can be right in amongst it. That is a in-your-face temple. And that's the sort of saving thing we needed. Now you can see there, we only got walls. So that says that we're not seeing masons in this one at all. We're not seeing brick fields either. That lack of masons is really showing its like how much value they bring to one of these games. Okay, so the next one. Let's get this guy up here. Although he won't be able to sit on that, will he? Yeah, he can't sit on them. So it would have to be a plateau this guy's bringing in. Again, the plateau itself is going to be worth nothing. But let's have a look. If we place that and then say, what do you get for being on that thing? And he says 100. 107. And I says, welcome to the plateau placement. In fact, let's recall that. Knowing that we're going to get that for him, and just double checking where that placement sort of went, in here, you can see all the area to the left up on this hill here, and to the right over here that he's going to hit. So we can sneak in. This field, and potentially these guys who like plateaus. Is that under the plateau? No, it's on the plateau. Yeah, let's put that guy there. No, I'm slowly like sort of drifting away here. So I'll try that again. 107. Still 107. Have I think I've blocked him with one of those fields. It's almost meant that there's been no change because he's further back where he's hitting that -5 of the second house. Alright, let's take it. 107. Essentially a fountain's going to be quite happy up here as well. 9 is not what we would call happy. 28, 27. Well, okay, the next thing is then, what are we doing with... Actually, no, we've placed a temple, so this guy can now go down and nab us a healthy score too. He likes parks, and he likes houses. We've got one more park. We get 15 for it there, so we'll definitely put that. And potentially we should hold off on him, because if we can get decent scores for parks, that'll continue to raise his value as well. He does not care about the fountains. They don't impact his score. Sure. Like 17 for that guy, and then sort of randomly squash in 2 more of my fields. Temple, masons, don't worry about it, balloon, statue, wall, house, park, mansion. So, assuming if we go on this side, I want to keep you far enough away from that tower there. We'll take 41. So, swing back over this way. We'll try and get one of these guys in a spot where he can benefit from existing fields without seeing the other guys. Now we do still have 2 overhangs. And I think that what we want to do with those overhangs is we want to put one... We'd like as much of this exposed as possible, so I'm actively trying to get that last corner available to use. Because what I've learnt is that these guys are worth an insane amount if they really get to be involved in the town. Like, those 3 houses are worth as much as, say, like, the temple placement. Those 3 houses. Same logic would probably really work for these mansions that we've got. If we could get them overhanging the town, they could help. So possibly though, this overhang should be reserved for the market, because the market's not going to fit anywhere else. But we're also getting bad value for the market, particularly because we've only got 1 warehouse. 2 warehouses is where we would really amp up, but I think that I've got to concede. Let's see if there's any way we can get this thing. It's over the weakest part of the town if it's over that side, but I mean those having them over the town hall and the statue are ideal, but you can see how high they are. They're higher than this mountain. So we can have them sort of adjacent to it. They can't go up there because then, like, the temple wouldn't be able to fit. So I think about there is really the only option we've got. And that's not worth anything. 32 back there actually isn't that bad. For all the struggles we've had for this guy. Recall that though. Putting these guys in with the knowledge that we're going to put a the monument in here. He's going to get 8 per one of these. So what is our... Possibly our last use for this guy then will just be more town over here. Like, maybe I should have placed him before I placed the guys right on the edge. It's funny that it can hang off that low point. So there, but... Back, speaking of that, I'm going to dump the market back here. I think 32, 34 for the market. It's as good as we're going to get. He's not going to be one of our big movers and shakers here. Monument doesn't care about mansions, so there's no real need to sort of get more mansion placements out before this guy goes down. It's purely fields. However, I feel that this wall plateau surely going to benefit. There's just not a straight point on that wall there that it's going to cooperate with. Like, I don't want you that far away from town. Windmill there, I think, is killing it. That's fine. I definitely take that. What we want to do as well, actually, is get this fountain right on this front edge. That guy fit if I hadn't placed that one there. I'll rethink that one. really wanting to give me fields in this one. Lumberjack. 2, 4, 5. 5, okay. 6. 6 it is. If I put him there, does that mean that this guy will fit in there? He will. There we go. That might be too far for this guy to see, but... Has he gone down? I thought he was 108 before. You're wrong. Another thing that he loves, though, is city centres. But we'll try and reserve this city centre somehow for that gap there, although I think we've cornered it off. I mean, it'd only be 30 points. If I put that guy there for 15, and then I get 15 from the monument, it's only a 30-point placement. Which doesn't seem like it's worth that much, but everywhere else seems terrible too, so... 30 points it is. I would have thought near a market he'd be happy. I suppose as well, what he'll do is he'll bring value to that side of town, the mansion placements, because they can now go around him. You can see the significant bump that gives to that guy. We do have the... Can he get further up? He can. 60 there. Gladly take that. I don't want lumberjacks. Wouldn't mind sawmills. I don't think I need lumberjacks. $27. 2. $45. Absolutely. Seem to have run out of getting just normal houses as well. I could place him for a 0. 4 down there. I'll accept it. 15 there. To boost this guy a little bit more. Cool. Now what I want to do with the sawmill is I'm going to have him visible to this guy, and I'm going to place him out here. Because the water plateaus like them, so if we get more water plateaus, we can now sort of have them gain from him as well. There's finally one of those mysterious houses that we've been waiting for. But it does work both ways, that if I can place stuff on the ground, I'll also be able to see up, so he can sort of enjoy 2 levels of interaction with houses. Mansion, so surely he can go this side of town and be quite happy. I'd say it's finally time. Got to place our monument. Okay, another gold mine. Jewelry, sorry, he's jewelry, he's not gold mine. $45. Could slot into that gap there. 51. I might keep searching. I'd say 51 will be our best option. These fields are like plateaus. We've got plateaus. we've got a couple of city centres down on the water here as well. So I think possibly what we might do is we'll just cram these plateaus in. We'll go that side. I think we're going to get much more out of them, so let's take them for 17, them for 15. Fields on those edges there. We don't have to keep placing parks up here now that we've got that placement, so we can just have a look for the most value we can get. So 11, 12. We can get one in there that can see both. $13, $17. I'll take the 17. Just work our way through more of these fields. Those guys are really considered to be worth nothing, so getting anything out of them in those fields seems worth it. So really lodge this guy in as far as we want. The idea is that they're going to be close enough that they can see that sawmill. $17. So many detractors around. We'll take that. 15, 14, 16. Like 16. 15. Lumberjack, not a sawmill. But how do we get him out this way? And if anything, he becomes like an incentive that if we get another sawmill, at least we've got like a bit more value in the placements. If we sneak this guy up this side, $13, 29, 42, 44. He'd have to be on this side of this town. He's not bringing a 44. Where will we bring in a 44? Just there. We do have a few walls. And we have rebuilt our hut population a little bit, so we're a chance to make it. I think we're looking okay. 9 in there, that's what we want. 18. Alright, there's mills down the bottom there that are hurting their popularity of location. Now these fields actually like those guys, so if we can just run them along the edges of that, that'll work for me. Now because we haven't got it yet, my strategy here is certainly going to be huts before walls. There's that second brewery. Where you been, man? There was a spot here that was once ready and waiting for you. And I stopped believing. And 16. Another one of them. That brewery's not going to bring us any sort of huge points. Unless they somehow, like, happen to throw a plateau at us. I would say he's just going to sit there unused. you hook around the edge of this? Looks like there's space there, right? Yeah, 31. Nine? Surely there's better than a 9 somewhere over this end. There is a 9 on this end. Alright, talk to me about 9. -1. I guess. We'll take it too. Back to the huts. We have gained a lot of walls now, though. So hopefully they're going to be enough to push us over that edge. Oh, there you are, buddy. Well, I mean, I can put you right over here. I can get you to see all 3 of those guys. 20's... 20's not doing much for a single level at the moment. 7. On you skinny guy, you can fit in somewhere weird. Yeah, there we go, 23. Alright. We have battle stations because we are now... We're out of them, but we've done it. We've made it to the next island. So this was a tough one. But I can happily say we will be seeing island... What's the next one? 13 or is this 13? Another warehouse. Now they're coming. Guess we can be a little bit more casual about it now. So we've made the grade, so we can... All we've got to do is just sort of... We're just adding on points, but... After the high pressure that this one has been, I'm happy to just jump through this to... Give me a break. And I mean, it is amazing to see sort of like how many more... like how much more we actually can do from there, like, was I really as in much trouble as I was letting on there. I mean, not as I let on, as I thought, I think is probably the more correct way of describing that. Now, I play 30 there because if we get some more fields and we can put them right there, they're going to see both of those and make some nice points. We got to have that fun thing trying to figure out where all the holes are in my design. go. So say, for example, this guy here, we drop him there, you can see we're going to get bigger scores than everyone else we've placed before him. 11. 12. Alright, these guys don't care about walls. Always nice. 18. These guys care. These guys care about walls. That's one of the garden plateaus, so we'll chuck him in there, just in case. I don't believe these guys care about walls. Huts, so we can... These guys squash in. We got 4 left. The painful thing is that, like, with 4, if I can actually place them in spots where I get 10 or so, we will make it to another level. And with that, yeah, another level, we're just going to get more walls. 3 houses. Well, houses like plateaus, but I mean, so do these guys, and that's where we're going to get our points. That's not really that much in the way of points. But I don't think there's anywhere where these guys are really going to be happy anymore because there's so many walls about. At least they don't care about the woodcutters. Last one. Well, I mean, if he fits there, go there. Brewery. If you fit on there, you can go there. Done. So there is our island that I thought might have bested me, but we bested him. Having a look, so we go down to 2,599. So still a nice climb of about 500 spots from that one level. And there we go. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.